Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be on this January 25th, 2022. It is 4:50 in the morning here in the Central Standard Time Zone. More specifically, it is 11:50 a.m. in the area of Belarus and Poland, and that's what we're here to talk about today. A crisis. Hey, Dolly, how are you? Um, we're here to talk about a crisis that is going on right now in Belarus and Poland. And let me just make sure my sound is good as far as, okay, cool. I don't even have the Bluetooth on this week. All right. Now, this situation has been something that's been getting discussed, but I don't think it's been getting like the necessary attention that it really deserves to get. And there isn't, hey, Hip Hop Inquirer, thank you so much. You were shouted out on mine as well. Congratulations. Sorry about that. I kicked myself out accidentally. But no, shout out to you, Hip Hop Inquirer. Your coverage on this particular case, specifically with Tasha K and Cardi B, has been absolutely phenomenal. I've loved to watch your growth. You were threatened by Tasha K. That woman threatened to kill you. The gun license situation, we definitely discussed that last night, as well as went through and seen your coverage on Twitter as well. You were right there in the midst of it all, and we really enjoyed the content. Thanks for, I mean, you followed it all the way through to the end. You followed that case all the way to the end. And all you ever did was just tried to knock on the door to get an interview with her. That's all you ever tried to do. That's all you ever tried to do with Tasha K. So I commend you, sir. I think you did a fantastic job in this case. I'm looking forward. Your blog has been growing like crazy. You know that I support you 1,000% over here. And yes, definitely, if you go back and look last night, we were talking about you last night. We had a lot of the old schoolers on. A lot of you remember the Instagram groups. We're in the Discord now, though. You should come check it out when you get a chance. I'll drop a link to it in the chat, but you should definitely come check out the Discord. It goes down in the Discord, okay? And it's way better than those IG groups. We've even got top secret groups where, you know, only certain people can even see them. It's gotten really good. So definitely come check it out. Install the Discord app on your phone, and you will, oh shit, I posted the wrong, hold on, HTTPS tiny URL.com/leak you Discord. So there you go. And that will get you a direct invite into the Discord. So it'll be great to have you over there. We've got a lot of channels we're building out. We are not too shy on letting people, you know, post links to their things as long as they don't self-promote too much. I had an issue with a lady that was posting more links than my own links. It's like, damn, it's my Discord. So no, enjoy it. Have fun with it. Lots of good people in there. And you'll come to know that. And it is it has taken over Instagram. But anyway, it's good to have you here, and great coverage yesterday on this case. That is shout out to Hip Hop Inquirer. If you haven't followed and subscribed to Hip Hop Inquirer, you definitely need to, not only on YouTube, but on Instagram. And you will be in for a treat. Shout out to Mr. Byron, for sure, for sure. He was threatened by Tasha K and everything. It was nuts. That whole case we were talking about yesterday. Okay, but let me get back to this. So right now it's about almost noon in Poland and in Belarus. And I did that for a reason. Number one, I'm up early. Hey, Centel. And shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm up early. And number two, I'm sort of up early on purpose because, hey, Occupy, because this is a time of day where I know a lot of people in Poland and Belarus are going to see this video. Now, I want people to be on the alert of something very important right now, that there's the possibility that 8,500 American troops, they've been put on alert for potential deployment to Europe. You heard me right. This whole situation happening, in Poland, in Belarus. We're talking about Russia is trying to push their weight. They already annexed Crimea. They want Ukraine. Some people call it Ukraine. I just call it Ukraine because that's what they call it. Formerly known as the USSR. We now know it as Russia. When I was a kid growing up under Reagan, it was the USSR. And we have problems with them even then. You know what I mean? Breaking. I demand the immediate withdrawal of Russian troops from the historical sphere of influence of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, including Belarus and Ukraine. Russia's westward expansion since the annexation of Novgorod in 1478 is an outrageous provocation. Now, I'm pretty sure that my video may get banned in Russia for sure. I have been featured on Russian television before, and sometimes they seem to just take, I don't know, I think it's part of their they have this this program of of security where literally anybody that has anything to do with Russia, they're always checking in on them. Always. You hear the stories, them finding people in Europe and then injecting them with some substance and then them dying, in a hospital somewhere. There's been so many executions like that. Vladimir Putin has been accused of murder more than once. And of course, he's up there high on the game, but let's keep it a stack, okay? He annexed Crimea not too long ago, huge swath of country, right? And then not MH370, was it MH370? Anyway, the passenger jet flying over Ukraine and Russia, and it was shot down by a Buk missile, a Russian-made Buk missile. It was a passenger plane. And they thought they were shooting down a cargo military plane. They shot down a passenger plane of over 229 souls. But this was Russians that were in Ukraine's land. They've been encroaching into Ukraine's property. Ukraine has an entire government. And that's why it became an extremely sticky situation when Donald Trump tried to manhandle the leader of Ukraine over Russia. Because it's obvious what's going on here. You and Vladimir Putin have some sort of relationship going on. It involves money. First of all, let's just keep it a stack. You were caught on video camera having sex with 9 women, including the act of urinating on them and them urinating on you while you were married, while you were there in 2013 for the Moscow, whatever that woman thing that they do, Miss Universe. We all know they got you. That's how the Russians get you, though. There may be a section of Ukraine that wants to join Russia. I believe that. I believe that. But listen, I'm not here to smear Russia. And I know there's a shared culture there. I understand that. But Russia is not, let's not sit up here and act like Russia's not aggressive, okay? What's your thoughts on Syria? I'm just saying. What are your thoughts on how Russia is right now in the Central African of the Republic stealing minerals from the people that this country is so mineral rich, yet they're the ones walking around with no shoes on. There's Russian mercenaries that are literally running the mineral system out of the Central African of Republic. And I'm just keeping it real with you. They're killing people. There's a few stories that have been done on this. And if you don't believe me, go check out George Clooney and his wife, who's an attorney, an international attorney at that, who's now currently hiring for a very special investigator to look into these sorts of things. We're talking some real Sentinel type shit. Putting his mouth where his money is. These corrupt officials that see a few precious jewels. Russians running mercenary programs, forcing these Central African Republicans, these black people, to sit up there and sift for minerals so that they can take them and become rich and leave the people where these minerals come from poor, dead, in prison. If some of the stories that I could tell you that come out of what Russian mercenaries are doing in the Central African of Republican would repulse you. And I think that we may even do a story on that. But it's not, and this is all, listen, Russia is very powerful. Russia is very powerful. That's why I'm telling you right now, I'm having to stream this video to multiple places because I know at least 4 of the 8 are going to be banned in Russia. I've gotten used to it. They even do it to me on Facebook. Anytime I get to talking about something negative that they don't like, they ban my video or take it down all the way together. So, but we work around ways. Well, I don't know about all that. But I don't believe that Africa sells their own people out. Sorry, Occupy. I disagree on that. There may be a lot of that going on, but believe me, them Russian mercenaries amongst other countries that are there trying to make money off these minerals and shit like that, they are selling those African people out. There wouldn't even be a system or a barter system for these minerals if it wasn't for these men coming into Africa, creating this barter system. So just, I don't mind people spreading, giving me their opinion on things, but just know that if I say something or whatever, then there you go. Okay. And you're just going to have to take it. Now, Belarus and Poland. Okay. We got, first off, they're building, Ukraine's border guards continue efforts. They're strengthening the border with Belarus. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that's going on between the borders.
Fuck you! Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Fuck you! Good.
It's let me see if I can actually pull something just really quick. A news article, actually, which is allowed. Their fair commentary. So let's talk about like what is going on.
It's a humanitarian crisis that didn't need to happen, and it's left thousands of migrants stranded along the freezing border between Poland and Belarus. They're suffering simply because of political rivalries and egos. On one side is Belarus and its strongman, the last Stalinist dictator in Europe, Alexander Lukashenko. The COVID denier and former collective farm boss is backed by Vladimir Putin. And Putin today sent paratroopers to Belarus right near the Polish border. In case anyone missed the point, earlier this week, Putin dispatched nuclear-capable long-range strategic bombers over Belarus to say, don't mess with Putin's man.
The Lukashenko regime, I believe, is engaged in very troubling activity, and the eyes of the world and its leaders are watching what is happening there.
But this crisis is far more cruel and cynical than most, and totally self-imposed. European officials accuse Lukashenko of deliberately importing migrants from the Middle East and Africa, offering them tourist visas, so he can fire them at Poland. Sacrificial pawns. Lukashenko's revenge, because Poland and the rest of Europe imposed sanctions against the Belarusian strongman for crushing a pro-democracy uprising at home. Lukashenko, they say, is punishing Europe for punishing him and using vulnerable people to do it. So now thousands of men, women, and children remain stranded, camped out for days in the cold with barely enough food and water.
We not sleep because of cold, and her baby is sick. Her eyes have problem, always out water her baby. Because she not can sleep, she crying because of that.
Children in makeshift tent cities ask, where is human rights? Others just write help on their foreheads. At a refugee center in eastern Poland, our partners at Sky News met some of the migrants who were able to cross over from Belarus. This mother, pregnant with her fourth child, fled from Iraq. She says she feared her young children wouldn't survive all of this.
Our situation was really, really difficult. All we had was a little bit of water left in this bottle, and I had to share it amongst my children. Me and my husband wouldn't drink, so nothing would happen to them, so they wouldn't die.
And Tom, today there was a potentially positive development to at least alleviate somewhat this crisis. The migrants from the Middle East and Africa have been arriving in Belarus on these easy tourist visas and then making their way down to the Polish border under the watchful eye of the Belarusian security services. Today, several airlines, including Turkish Airways, said no more. They're going to stop these flights. They're going to limit the flow of people from the Middle East to Belarus. But there are already thousands of people who are in Belarus, who have made their way down to the Polish border and who are trapped there. And many of them, frankly, don't want to leave. They don't want to go home. They're already on their way. Some have torn up their passports, and they see their goal of getting into Europe right in front of them. So now you have to deal with these thousands of people who are there and are trapped. Tom?
All right, Richard Engel is going to be keeping an eye on this throughout this crisis.
Shout out to Richard Engel, man. He is a really good reporter. He's been doing it for a long time. Lots of interesting. So Poland has also began sending tanks to the border with Belarus and Ukraine. Wow. Wow. So Poland is saying, no, you're not getting in. You're not Russia accuses West of hysteria as fears of Ukraine invasion rise.
Well, the Kremlin today rejected essentially every accusation that has been thrown at it by the West in recent days, calling it information hysteria.
And he has everything to do with what's going on right now in Poland and Belarus.
Of the collective Western imagination, possibly the intelligence services in the West as well. They also lashed out at Western weapons deliveries to Ukraine, saying all this is going to accomplish in the end is encouraging what they say are the hotheads in the government in Kyiv to attack eastern Ukraine. Now, it's very, very important to follow that narrative. If Russia decides that it is going to go into Ukraine, it will be painted as defensive. And so this is something that I think later this week, after the United States delivers its response to Russia, we need to be watching out for. Shep?
Bodnar, thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC.
Thank you, Shepard Smith. We fucking love you, man. I'm so glad he left Fox News. I am so glad he left Fox News. I swear. But wow. Okay. Okay. Poland has blocked 600 migrants from crossing border illegally so far this year. Poland versus Belarus. It's kind of amazing to see those. Oh, wow. Wow. It's kind of amazing to see those tanks, right? The movement of those M1A2 tanks to the borders of Belarus. Like, wow. Okay. Polish border guard spokeswoman on the operations of Polish soldiers at the Poland-Belarus border. Inside the migrant camps. What the fuck?
La frontière entre la Biélorussie et la Pologne. La crise humanitaire tourne à l'affrontement.
Go back! Go back! Go back!
Plus de 3000 personnes sont bloquées là depuis des jours dans le froid, sans eau ni nourriture. Des hommes, des femmes, des enfants, pour la plupart fuyant le Kurdistan irakien ou syrien. D'un côté, les migrants attaquent les barbelés avec ces sécateurs distribués par les Biélorusses. De l'autre, les forces polonaises tentent de les repousser à coups de gaz lacrymogène ou de canons à eau. Une zone d'exclusion de 3 km de large a été créée le long de la frontière polonaise. ONG et journalistes y sont interdits d'accès. Plus de 20 000 militaires et policiers quadrillent la zone, où résonne en boucle ce même message dans toutes les langues.
Après traverser la frontière, vous serez renvoyé dans le pays d'où vous venez. Les personnes qui viennent pour vous avaler en prison pendant 8 ans et être expulsées.
I dropped the link.
Istanbul,
Shout out to Journeyman
point de
TV.
départ vers la Biélorussie. Ici, comme dans une vingtaine d'autres villes, s'est mis en place un vaste système pour attirer les candidats à l'exil vers Minsk. Un système initié par le régime du président Loukachenko, qui cherche un moyen de pression sur l'Union européenne. Pour obtenir son ticket vers l'Europe, il faut aller dans le quartier d'Aksaray, le quartier des migrants, où tout se vend et tout se négocie. Pour comprendre le système, je me fais passer pour un Afghan en partance pour l'Allemagne. Je me rends chez un des voyagistes sponsorisés par le régime biélorusse. Cette compagnie propose visa et billets d'avion pour Minsk, tout en assurant que la suite du voyage vers l'Union européenne n'est qu'une formalité. Je suis accueilli par un Syrien qui m'explique comment ça va se passer.
The consulate.
Okay. At the Belarus, here in Istanbul.
With all your fund, invitation, and the realization about your hotel, the price is $2,500. Go to Belarus, it's very easy. It's like Atlanta.
À l'aéroport d'Istanbul, à la porte d'embarquement pour Minsk, je rencontre 3 jeunes Kurdes irakiens. Nechirwan et ses amis sont sur la route depuis 3 mois. Ils tentent de rejoindre le Danemark, où vivent leurs familles. Vous allez à Minsk ce soir?
Oui, Minsk, à la frontière.
Qu'en pensez-vous? Vous avez confiance?
Je ne crois pas.
C'est dangereux?
Oui, c'est très difficile de passer la frontière.
Partis de Souleymania en Irak, ils ont payé 4 000 $ chacun pour se rendre en Biélorussie. Comme là-bas, les journalistes ne sont généralement pas les bienvenus, je donne mon numéro à Nechirwan, qui promet de m'envoyer des vidéos de son périple. C'est ici qu'ils veulent venir. La Pologne, première frontière de l'Union européenne, l'Eldorado qu'ils tentent de rejoindre. Une fois sur place, plus de frontières avant Berlin ou Copenhague. La Biélorussie est juste de l'autre côté de cette forêt. Seuls les 3 kilomètres de zone interdite les séparent. Depuis l'afflux de migrants, la Pologne a déployé les grands moyens. Des camps militaires poussent un peu partout autour de la frontière. Les soldats, venus en renfort par milliers, patrouillent jour et nuit à la recherche de ceux qui ont réussi à passer côté européen. La police aussi est sur le qui-vive. Elle fouille systématiquement toutes les voitures dans la région à la recherche de migrants.
10 metrów dalej od mojego miejsca, proszę tam.
Ça, c'est bon.
Dans un lieu tenu secret, des activistes venus de Suisse préparent des habits chauds et des vivres.
Very hot is better the thermic.
Comme aucune organisation officielle n'est autorisée à intervenir dans la zone, ce sont uniquement ces volontaires qui vont clandestinement aider ceux qui passent en Pologne. Sylvana de Caravane sans frontières est partie de Genève avec 7 tonnes de matériel de secours.
Alors ça, c'est vraiment les sacs de couchage qu'il nous faut. Ils vont jusqu'à moins 5, moins 11, moins 31. Ça permet à quelqu'un de survivre. Je sais qu'il y a des discussions, mais on va attendre qu'ils rentrent au le moment où ils vont dire « Ok, maintenant la Croix-Rouge, elle peut rentrer. Médecins sans frontières peut rentrer. » Et on va trouver quoi? Des cadavres avec la température qu'il fait maintenant?
Nechirwan et ses amis sont finalement arrivés à Minsk. Ils m'envoient leurs premières vidéos. Ils vont rejoindre un groupe qui va partir vers la frontière. Ils m'expliquent que l'idée est de se déplacer en nombre afin d'éviter les arrestations ou les expulsions.
Nous sommes à Minsk, dans la capitale biélorusse. Nous achetons des cartes SIM pour pouvoir communiquer avec nos amis. Nous avons acheté de la nourriture et de l'eau. Là, ce sont mes amis qui dorment. On nous a dit qu'on devait partir demain matin.
Le lendemain, Nechirwan et ses amis prennent un taxi pour la frontière. Là-bas, ils rejoindront les quelques milliers de migrants coincés devant les barbelés. Sur place, des centaines de personnes se déplacent en groupe, à la recherche d'une ouverture ou d'un passage. Parfois, ils sont guidés par les forces biélorusses elles-mêmes, qui n'hésitent pas à leur demander de l'argent. Côté polonais, dans la ville de Białystok, un centre de réfugiés accueille 40 personnes. Ici, on se repose après avoir été soigné, ou en attendant une réponse à une demande d'asile. Ceux qui séjournent ici ont évité l'expulsion ou le retour en Biélorussie. Ils sont plus de 200 à être passés par là depuis le début de la crise. Youssef Attallah est originaire de Damas. Il a 37 ans. Lui a quitté la Syrie pour aider financièrement ses 2 filles et sa femme restées au pays. Il aura fallu 3 tentatives et un nez cassé pour que Youssef arrive à passer du côté européen.
Les gardes biélorusses nous ont arrêtés et fouillés. Ils m'ont donné des coups de pied au visage. Ils m'ont cassé le nez et un os là.
Moyennant $200 de bakshish, la police biélorusse emmène alors son groupe vers un autre point de passage.
La police biélorusse est revenue nous mettre dans des camions pour nous emmener à un autre endroit de la frontière. Et là, ils ont enlevé les barbelés et nous ont laissé passer de l'autre côté. J'ai dit à la police biélorusse est plus à marcher. Je pensais que si la police polonaise me voyait, elle pourrait peut-être m'aider.
La police polonaise l'arrête et l'emmène à l'hôpital. Après 7 jours, on le transfère dans ce centre. Youssef demande alors l'asile et son statut empêche son expulsion. Au bout du couloir, dans une autre pièce, Ali, lui, a réussi à passer la frontière après la 8e tentative. Il est afghan et a fui les talibans. Il témoigne à visage caché par peur de représailles contre sa famille.
Mes blessures ont cicatrisé. Les gardes frontières biélorusses nous forcent à couper les barbelés. Ma femme est enceinte. Elle a été poussée par un garde frontière polonais. Et ça a provoqué des saignements. Elle a été transportée à l'hôpital, mais mon fils et moi, on a été renvoyés en Biélorussie. Nous avons été séparés.
Ali réussira finalement à convaincre un garde-frontière polonais de l'aider à retrouver sa femme. Aujourd'hui, la famille est réunie dans ce centre. Retour à Minsk. Après une première tentative échouée, les 3 amis kurdes n'ont plus d'hôtel et se retrouvent à la rue par moins 10 degrés.
On dort comme ça.
Délogés par la police au milieu de la nuit, ils se trouvent un coin de galerie marchande pour se reposer avant de repartir vers la frontière.
Nous sommes en train d'aller vers la frontière. Nous sommes si près du groupe qui est coincé là-bas. Il y a environ 300 personnes par là-bas.
Devant Nechirwan, un homme en béquille fait le chemin, lui aussi. Dans la même forêt, côté polonais, Marianne Chipiuk arpente les bois. Elle est la directrice du conseil municipal de Michalovo. Pour elle, la situation est intenable.
Ici, on se trouve dans la forêt où je viens avec les pompiers. C'est ici qu'il y a le plus souvent des interventions avec les gens qui ont besoin d'aide. Ce sont les habitants locaux qui nous préviennent.
Non loin de là, Maria veut me montrer le début de la zone interdite aux ONG et aux médias.
Moi, en tant que présidente du conseil municipal, j'ai le droit d'y entrer avec les pompiers et de fournir les premiers secours à ceux qui en ont besoin.
Chaque soir, Maria allume une lumière verte dans sa maison. Signe pour les migrants qu'ils sont les bienvenus chez elle pour se réchauffer et se reposer.
Ces personnes dans le besoin peuvent venir ici. Elles peuvent boire du thé chaud, se chauffer, charger les téléphones ou prendre des médicaments de première nécessité. On peut aussi les amener à notre centre d'aide et là-bas, ils seront pris en charge en fonction de leurs besoins. Aider, c'est légal. C'est la violence qui est un crime. Je pense que si moi j'aide quelqu'un dans le besoin, je ne serai pas punie pour cela. J'irai peut-être en prison ou je paierai une amende, mais on ne va pas me tirer dessus comme pendant la guerre. Il faut se rappeler qu'à l'époque, nos grands-parents ont aidé les Juifs et ils risquaient la déportation ou même la mort pour ça.
Côté biélorusse, Nechirwan et ses compagnons ont passé 3 nuits dans la forêt à proximité de la frontière. La police est venue les déloger et confisquer leurs affaires personnelles.
Hier soir, la police biélorusse nous a arrêtés à la frontière. Ils ont pris nos chargeurs et nos câbles de téléphone.
Depuis quelques jours, le régime biélorusse rassemble les réfugiés dans des hangars comme celui-ci. Nechirwan et ses compagnons veulent éviter à tout prix la déportation. Ils ont finalement décidé de faire appel à des passeurs et devaient tenter leur chance ce week-end.
Well, guys, I had to, I had to tweet that because in certain parts of the world, tweets get a lot further than other forms of social media. And that's just the way that it is. And so I wanted to make sure that I did do that. Give me a second. I want to make sure because I have two Twitter accounts, believingly. And, I thought this is really interesting tweet, by the way, that Cardi B wrote. She says, "Why am I happy but sad at the same time? It's called being bittersweet, Cardi B. That's that feeling of bittersweet. No, the truth of the matter is this. You can feel sad if you want, but you did every fucking possible thing you could have done to resolve that situation. So you have nothing to feel guilty about. It's the difference between feeling sad and feeling guilty because you basically know that you pummeled that girl, period. And she deserved every bit of it. Let's not forget about all the moments she spent in the car talking shit. I'm Tasha K, I'm this, I'm that. And now she's getting her just desserts. And that's just how it be sometimes. It's called bittersweet. That's all. That's all. Now, let me go home real quick. And I want to retweet this with the right... hold on. We've got Belarus. We've got Poland. Oops. We have got Russia. Okay. We've got Ligue, of course. We've also got Belarus, Russia. I noticed. Belarusian. Okay. All right. So I think that's enough, but I want people to be able to see that video. And that's why I do that. You'd be surprised. Like, I finally just got this issue resolved with Twitter because I get a lot of viewers on Twitter, believe it or not. It's kind of crazy. And yes, y'all may not believe me, but Keanu Reeves started following me a couple weeks ago and I about lost my shit. I know he runs a couple of different accounts and shit. He don't run nothing like official or whatever. But you know how you could tell when it's somebody's actual account or whatever? Yeah. But it's all good, man. And like I said, and I meant it, The Matrix Resurrections was just not the same without Lawrence Fishburne. And I'm glad that people like Keanu and that their cast can respect can respect that because I'm a super fan of The Matrix. I'm a techie on top of that. And to top it all off, like, I grew up on that shit, like I remember, I can't tell you, like the beginning of The Matrix, how it starts and everything, like it's everything. Hello, Mr. Anderson. I mean, it's everything, but it just wasn't the same without Lawrence Fishburne. And I feel like that's one of them situations where, Lawrence Fishburne made that movie just as much as Keanu Reeves did. And I love Keanu Reeves. I adore Keanu Reeves, okay? But anyway, I wonder what the market is looking like today, to be honest. Before I get off of here, I'm just curious what the futures are looking like. Wow, are you kidding me? Dow NASDAQ futures are down more. They slide by more than 1% as market's wild ride continues. So I'll be honest. I'm no dummy, and I keep a stop loss on all of my stocks. I would say with the exception mostly of Microsoft and Apple type stocks. But even I, in the last couple of weeks, set stop losses on all of my stocks because I'm no dummy. And, I know that if this is going to keep happening, then I'm going to sell and I will buy back more shares at a cheaper price. But I'm not going to sit up here and watch my fucking Microsoft stock go from $365 to $280 and not do something about that. That is not smart money. Okay, in my opinion. Yes, we should definitely buy the sell, buy the dip. Absolutely. But right now, we're not talking about buying the dip. We're talking about the fact that the shares that were worth $360 have now dipped to $280. And I'm not okay with that. So I'll buy the dip. Sure. I'll buy some shares at 280, but I damn sure don't want my shares going from no goddamn 360 to no 280. So no, we call that setting a stop loss. And I definitely set mine. And so I'm in nothing but cash right now. Nothing but. I own zero stock at this time. That may change today, but just the way things are looking, it looks like there's still some price corrections that need to take place. And, it'll be what it'll be, but another 1% Are you kidding me? Tesla's down to 930. Apple is down to 161. I'm okay at buying Apple at 161. Absolutely, I'm going to buy the dip. Absolutely. But I had shares worth $2 something. So I'll go ahead and sell, with my stop loss. And yep, I sure will buy back the dip when I have some sort of indication that the bottom is fucking in. Now, the one thing I'm not going to sit up here and do is buy, and we still ain't stopped dropping yet. To me, this feels like an absolute market there is something going on in the market, and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like stocks have gotten too high, okay, and they're selling, and they're trying to reduce whatever. I'm not no financial expert, okay, but they're intentionally forcing the equity or the value of too many people have gotten rich. Can I just say that? Too many people have gotten rich. Cryptocurrency has made a lot of people a lot of money. Okay. There's too many rich people out here. They got to get it back down to that 1%. So they want us to keep holding our stocks while we watch it go down, right? So that we can't buy the dip. So that we can be poor and that they can be richer while they sell all their shit. And then when it drops another 100, then they buy the fucking dip. Then they own double the shares for cheaper the cost. No. There's one rule to the game I've always told you. Do you think that these white people want to lose their money? You already know the answer to that. Hell no. So why not follow the playbook? Maybe the playbook ain't always right all the time, but these white folks don't want to lose their money. Are you kidding me? And we ain't forgot about 2008. That's why cryptocurrency became what it is today, because of what happened in 2008 when the banks failed. Period. Do a documentary on it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But you see the futures are down. I mean, my God. Another wild fucking ride, man. What is the futures on? Look at that. Look at that. We're already down $3 as of right now. Morning. You know, we get to view. People get to trade in the mornings and in the evenings if they'd like. And as you can see, Microsoft is down $3 all fucking ready. It's down 1%, and the market hasn't even opened yet. What do you think is going to happen today? We lost $8 on Microsoft yesterday. $8. Look at the 52-week range. And this is just an example. Okay? Look at this. 52 weeks ago, Microsoft stock was $224. We rose all the way up to $349. And now we're down to $293. And you want me to hold that shit? Nah, man. I'm going to sell on my stop loss. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to buy them cheaper. I'm going to buy it cheaper once we confirm that the bottom is in. Period. That's how I trade anyway. I like money. I don't like losing it. Now, I want to see what Bitcoin's looking like right now. I heard Saitama, people were making some pretty good money on Saitama if they would have bought the dip, which is great. Let me take a look here at what these numbers are looking like here. So no pre-market data on Apple yet. So Bitcoin, we are down. We are still at about 36. It's been kind of fluctuating, right? All night long. Don't you hate it when it chops like that? Just choppy, 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 choppy. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go out. The only time you would have made some money is if you would have fucking bought here and then sold here, and you would have had seconds to sell. You would have had to sell it on the second. But don't think that these exchanges don't be behind the scenes doing that shit. Your best option is to get in good with somebody that works at an exchange, right? And if you really like money and you're down to do some dirty shit, all I'm saying is they can't regulate crypto like they do the US dollar. I know I sounded so guilty when I said that, didn't I? I felt so wrong. I felt so wrong. Listen, man, I'm trying to live my life legal, okay? But if God dang it, if something come across my way and I know it's not like illegal, don't think I won't do that shit, okay? Period. Period. On the Periana, as Official Kingpin would say. Now, look, Tesla's at 9:30. No pre-market data yet. What time is it? 5:30, 6:38 a.m. It should be any minute that they're going to open up the pre-market data. But listen, man, I'm feeling that Tesla because let me tell you something. I have had 3 opportunities so far to buy Tesla either at 7 something or 9 something and held that shit until it was in the thousands, right? But on top of it, I remember that 5-to-1 split, baby. And it went 5-to-1 split at like 200 and grew, and it was 11 something again. I was like, bitch, there's some ugly ass trucks, but boy, Tesla, man, don't ever bet against Tesla. It's telling you, I likes to buy my puts once in a while too. And to be honest with you, I avoid buying puts more than I do calls because I always have felt a little guilty about betting against something. But like the other day, I bet it on Peloton and I damn sure made some money. Yes, I do believe. Now, some of these stocks, I wouldn't even want to bet against them. But like Roku's been a great one to bet against. They've dropped so fucking much. Shop has dropped. Ulta has definitely dropped. Now look at the VIX right now. Look at the fucking VIX. Okay? Wow. Huh. That's the volatility index. Usually when the VIX is high, that's not a good indicator for the market. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's pretty fucking high. I've been seeing it like in the 20s and stuff like that, but damn, 32? Okay. How about that Litecoin though at 107? I'm so fucking sick looking at some of this shit. It's like, like I know you're going to drop when the market opens. Like we see the futures. That's what the whole point of the futures is. But y'all, I absolutely love this shit. Let me tell you something. I can't tell you how many nights that I went to bed listening to like Whale Pool, listening to those big fat rich whales talk about, their different strategies of trading and how they were making money on the market while that shit was moving up, moving up and down. And they would be in there making strategies like, man, you gotta give me just 3 minutes, man. Give me 3 minutes. Let me sell. And I'm like, these motherfuckers making millions. And I'm like, damn, can I get in with you? And of course, a lot of them were in countries where there were no laws. There wouldn't have been a law that could have been applied to them. They just made their money, period. And so, that's kind of how I look at things. If it ain't illegal, I didn't say everything was ethically right. But anyway, I'm done talking. I wanted to go over talk about, I wanted to talk about this Belarus-Poland situation that is going on right now. And I'm hoping really for the best because it's really getting quite violent actually over there. To be honest with you, it's getting quite violent over there. And Russia's involved, and guys, if you want to know anything, go look up Syria and what Russia has done. You see, he wants to back up Lukashenko, right? He wants to back Lukashenko up, right? Go watch and look what he did to back up his friend in Syria, his presidential friend in Syria. You see, Vladimir Putin he's making friends with all the higher ups, the presidents of the different countries, and he's offering his help and his money. You see, Russia has a swath of wealth. Don't ever underestimate Russia. Russia's bigger than the United States. And don't think he'll never make a play. Don't ever think he'll ever make a play. Have you all never heard of the rumors of how they keep Russian subs parked 50 miles right off the coast of the United States, up the northern coast and on the western coast? We're talking about the east and the west. Cuban Missile Crisis. Were y'all too young for that? I know my mama remembers the Cuban Missile Crisis. How they were all taught to hide under their desks because everybody was scared to death a nuclear war was going to happen. But do you think that it's not true that they're parking, that they're highly sophisticated submarines 50 miles in international waters off the United States? If you don't think that that's happening, you're crazy. And that's some real shit. We're talking about real warfare here. Real warfare. We're talking about playing chess, not checkers, baby. This is real chess for real. So Russia, Vladimir Putin, he wants to back Lukashenko. Okay. But look what he did. Look at Bashar al-Assad. Look at Syria right now. Look at that country. The chemical weapons that have been dropped by Russian helicopters. The minerals, the way that they're sending in troops, Russian mercenaries. Reports have been written. Again, George Clooney and his wife have a whole company called The Sentry, dedicated to exposing this stuff. Go read up on some of the reports. And they are looking for a good investigator, probably several. But just go look. Go look at the reports of the Russian mercenaries killing women, raping and killing women. The minerals. They want control of the minerals so that Russia can make money off of them. See, it all goes back to Russia. They all have a reporting structure, and the head of their reporting structure is Mr. Putin, right? That's why he's made this big point. He had this big social media point, y'all, of creating all these pictures and videos of him with his shirt off and riding horses and bears and shit. I'm like, look at this man. Ain't nothing wrong with a nice 55-year-old body or 50-year-old body, okay? You can respect a man with a 50-year-old body. Still can be just as sexy. But come on, Putin, you're the president of Russia. And you're up here trying to ride a bear because you want it to look cool. Because you want to make it look cool like you just annexed an entire swath of country called Crimea. And now you want to take the Ukraine. We're talking about war moves. This man is making serious moves that could politically change the landscape of this entire world. Y'all better pay attention now. That's what you call stay woke. Until next time, y'all.